Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22, our tour through history with the Detroit Tigers. This is our second go around with Los Tigres. If you recall, they're one of the very first teams that we played with. So let's take a look. Because it has been a while, hasn't it? We played as the Tigers back in the Detroit Wolverines for 10 seasons. Never made the playoffs. This is a bit of a redux, but in our fairness, it's been, 60 years since we last played with the Tigers, and that should mean that everyone involved in the previous team is dead, so there's not any uncomfortable questions about how the same GM is running the team, despite the fact that, he appears to be... let me take a look. I was born in 1896, so that's actually, I was born after I left the Tigers, so yeah. Hopefully there's not too many inconvenient questions there. The Cardinals was good. I think we built a really competitive franchise, and we picked the wrong time to bottom out. We really did. And I wouldn't at all be shocked if we see the Cardinals win the World Series this year. Tigers got a ways to go. Tigers got a ways to go. Give me just 1 second. You can enjoy this look at my past, and I'll be right back. I have returned. Okay. A couple things, because it's been so long since we played this series. I just want to remind you about two important things that are going to affect the way I make a lot of my decisions with the Tigers. Number one, Major League Baseball contracts are non-guaranteed, like they are in the NFL. What that means is that if you sign a brand new contract with, say, the Tigers for $100,000 and you break your leg in spring training, you get no money. Now, many players, just like in the NFL in those days, would occasionally get signing bonuses. But if you got injured and you weren't like a very popular player, you got nothing. So that's kind of a downer. The other thing to keep in mind is the reserve clause. What this basically means is that we will have players until we don't want them anymore. That's the long and short of it. There's no such thing as free agency. So what happened back in this time is at the end of a season, usually the owner, sometimes a general manager, but usually the owner, would have a chat with a star player and say, hey, this is how you did. We're going to offer you this much money. And there'd be a negotiation. If the player said, no, fuck you, I'm tired of playing for Detroit, I don't want to play for you at all, they say, too bad. We have your rights. And until we decide that we don't want you anymore, we're not going to let you out of your contract. It's kind of the old saying, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. But it's the obvious. It's the opposite. It's more like the Hotel California. You can check out, but you can never leave. Even if you never sign the contract, I think you'd have to not sign it for a full year, and I don't even think even then that you would be sent off to free agency. You basically have to get cut in order to go to free agency, or officially not be offered a contract. So that's the issue. That was the issue that existed in baseball for years and years and years and years. I believe 1972 was the first season in which free agency existed, and that changed the game dramatically. So all this is to say, When we get a good player, we're going to be able to keep him. But the way that OOTP handles it, it treats them as in perpetual arbitration, which means that the game assigns them a new contract based on their performance. And you can offer them your own contract or whatever. You could even offer them a long-term deal if you want. So let's talk about what we do have. We have outfielders. We have a lot of outfielders. Too many outfielders. We have a fairly decent third baseman. A real good first baseman. And a decent catcher. Who, except at the catching part where he's not so good at that. This is a team that needs a lot of work. So much work. And we actually have a very strange problem. We don't have any money. And we don't have any money because in their infinite fucking wisdom, the game decided we wanted like 12 outfielders. That's too much money on too few players. We also need to hire a new pitching coach for AAA. Ralphie Boyd looks pretty good. Let's promote him. Walt, let's promote. You're not as good, are you, Walt? Oh, you're pretty bad, actually. We'll just get a new AA pitching coach. Oh, no filter, please. I don't really care. Here we go, Cap. Join the Indianapolis Heroes. But, so we're going to start getting rid of payroll and getting rid of it fast. There's way too much money tied up into way too small a portion of the club. So, of the cavalcade of outfielders that we have, how many are actually worth keeping? At most, I would keep 4 of these highly paid outfielders. At most. One of those 4, Charlie Keller. I'm not gonna sweat this one at all. He gonna stay. He's worth every cent. I would not let him go for all the money in the world. I wouldn't mind moving him to left, but that's fine. We have 2 center fielders who are real bad at center field. Real bad. I am not keeping Stan Spence, I don't think. I'll think about Stan Spence. Hirsch Martin is gone. You're the first person on this roster I am not keeping. You're making 16 grand. You didn't even start 20 games last year. So, Mr. Martin, any prospect whatsoever that's even remotely interesting, that doesn't cost me any money, and you're gone. Woody Rich. I might be able to do better than you, but let's keep looking. Bill Clemenson. He's a fine-looking specimen. I really like Mike Haynick, though. He's my current favorite. Alright, we're going to take Mr. Haynick here. Because Namick. I don't know why I said Haynick. I'm just not even close. Yeah. I agree that it may not look like a great deal, but I can't afford him. I cannot afford to pay a man $16,000 to just exist. So done. That carves off a pretty fair amount of payroll. Now let's keep looking. If we want competency in our center fielders, Frenchie Bordegaray is the guy we want to keep. And I know Stan Spence is a better player. I equally know that I'm probably going to start him in the minors this season. Okay. I still have a ridiculous number of outfielders. Let's start thinking of other people who want to trade. All right. Hank Greenberg, I love him to death. He's a much better first baseman, but he's so damn good. And he's so Detroit Tigers that I think we have to keep him, even though he costs us a lot of money. Augie Galan, you're my next person that I have to trade, I think. And again, this is Detroit's fault. They kept drafting the same damn positions year in and year out. And I can't afford to pay them all. I just can't. I mean, maybe we wait and try to get rid of some others. You know, let's go by salary, right? All right, Trotsky, gonna keep. Keller, gonna keep. Padgett, I don't care how good a hitter he is. He's an awful catcher. I don't see keeping him. Yeah, I don't see a purpose to keeping Charlie or Don Padgett here. If someone else wants to take someone who is an absolute millstone on their defense, that's fine. But we're going to have a team that's going to be bringing in a lot of new pitchers. I can't afford him. In every sense of the word, he cannot be afforded. I'm going to shop him around. Nope. Like, every mediocre reliever in the league is going to become a Detroit Tiger just because I'm trying to save money. I like Clemenson a little bit better than the other guy, so I think we're going to go for him. Done. I feel you, bro. I need to ditch him. We just need to save money. And to be honest, I don't care how bitchy the fans get. This has to happen. We have to tear down if we're going to rebuild. So who's next on the expendable list? Alright. I really love to play Greenberg at first, but I can't because Trotsky only plays first. And he's definitely a keeper. Which means Greenberg is stuck in left. And Gallant can't play anywhere but left. I love him as a player, and it hurts to have to trade him, but trade him I shall. Remember, this is all about getting payroll flexibility right now. Elmer Burkhart, sure. And again, I know this is going to piss off the fans, and I can't afford to care about that. We have much better things to be spending our money on than 200 outfielders. All right. Pat Carraway. You're overrated and you don't have a lot of stamina, but I've got a really bad rotation right now. I can't afford to trade him yet. Majewski, yes. I will happily keep him on the roster. No issues there. Eno Slaughter. I can't do it. I would like to find the previous GM of the Tigers and throttle them until they die, because you wasted so much draft capital on one fucking position. And now I have to fix your mess. I have to correct the problem. And so I'm trading away all these people that the fans love and people I wouldn't mind keeping. But you invested too much in too weak a position. And I'd like to even try to get the team better, but the point is I can't afford it. I cannot afford to keep Eno Slaughter on this team. And yes, I could just pick up one of the better prospects and pay a little bit of money. But this is just about getting the payroll neutral so I can start seeing how I can apply my resources to get the best possible result. Woody Rich, welcome to the Detroit Tigers. This is brutal. I feel like a bastard, but this has to be done. All right. Stan Spence, you're a bad outfielder. I am not keeping you. However, I am going to look at regulars, because if I can get a genuine upgrade here, I will. Are you fucking kidding me? I can't trade him. If I just waive him, someone's going to take him, right? Is that actually a bad thing? And the answer to that question is no, it is not a bad thing. I'm going to go ahead and designate him for assignment. Someone's going to grab him, and that's going to be fine, but that's what has to happen here. Evil Goodman. I love your defense. You're not worth $8,000. Ken Silvestri, welcome to the Tigers. Yeah, this is probably where, if there were like 24-hour news networks in the 1940s, I'd have people calling for my head. Okay, Milt Schaffner. You had a pretty okay season as a starter. Let's have a look at some of these other players that just look terrible. Bill Kalfoss, you're an 8. You're an overpriced reliever. Why would I want to keep you? See, that doesn't get rid of his actual Major League contract, so if I want to get rid of him, I should just get rid of him. Which I will. Yeah, Ray Star, I don't want you either. Let's simulate one day. Wait a damn minute. Don't you fucking dare sign more people. I need less players, not more players. Alright. Where do I look? How do I look on... Why is Bill Kalfoss still... Oh, because I think until he clears waivers. Yeah, that's fine. Wayne LeMaster, you're just bad. That's the word I'm looking for, is bad. Can I get a prospect for you? Nobody. Now, I should be able to release people without actually losing, without being penalized. Let's find out. Yeah, see, it shouldn't add anything to my player expenses. So I'm just going to waive him and see what that accomplishes. You're terrible. You're terrible. What does this draft pool look like? I get to pick 3rd overall. And there's some pretty damn fun players in this draft. I don't know who's going to fall to me. But there's some really, really talented players here. Pretty much all of whom I would consider very strongly. Stan Musial would be perfect for so many reasons. I'd stick him in center field without a moment's hesitation and enjoy his capabilities there. We really definitely need pitching, though. And Tex Houston clearly looks like the fastest path to a better pitching staff. But I think whoever we pick is going to be a good choice, I think. There really isn't a bad option in the top 3, unless I go, like, ridiculous. Do we have a competent catcher? You're both pretty terrible, but I can't get rid of even more catchers than I already have. Barrett, I'm going to waive you. Here, let's make this real easy. If you are rated underneath a 40, you get waived. Except for the catchers, and I'm only keeping them until I can get some news. Masterson might get better. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and sim forward a bit. Alright, Chicago, enjoy him. I hope you enjoy having a center fielder that can't play center field. Alright, a bunch of people here. What is your problem, Dick? Alright. I will pay $710 to get rid of you. So here's what I find confusing. I have no idea why these players that just cleared waivers are still showing up on my salary report. So I guess I'm gonna start cutting people. I just acquired Burkhart. Here we go, by sort by overall. It is worth it to waive these jerks and then cut them, even if I do eat some of their salary, because I won't eat all of it. Tom wins that. Cut. Old man Art. Cut. Len Konecki. Not Ira Hutchison. I mean, maybe him too, but Len is one I'm trying to get rid of. Alright, if I look at my salary now, I've got a fair bit of money now. Not a lot, but I've definitely slashed a lot of payroll. I need to figure out if there's anybody else that I'm keeping that is overpaid. Hello, Burgess Whitehead. You provide no useful services. You can go now. But I wouldn't mind even increasing the payroll for a better player. But it would have to be somebody that really fills an important need. Justin Stein is not a terrible player by any stretch of the imagination. I might grab him. Yeah, give me Justin here. I'll take Hal quick if they'll offer him. I'll just pull this trade. This is just about me getting rid of the money. I know the fan interest is really low, and I'm going to beg your indulgence while I start remaking this team in a way that actually makes it good. Okay. How is Joe Grace already earning $6,500 a year? I don't get it. I've got lots and lots of outfielders. I think we had to trade Maury Arnovich. And this is just because he's... You could be good at other positions, though, is the thing. I could definitely see you playing another position quite well. Dude, you're a reliever in the 1940s. Why am I paying you that much money? At least Milt Schaubner somehow made dirty starts. I don't see how, but I'm not gonna knock it when I don't have a lot of other options. But... Bro, why am I paying you this much money? I will release you. You're 42 years old. I'm not the kind of team that can afford to carry him. Rip Radcliffe, you're hilarious. No. I might be able to get something for good old Rip here. Or Billy Urbanski. We have a lot of really bad, really overpaid veterans. I'll tell you what. And it's just honestly better to just cut them. Because then I get their salary back. Urbanski can walk. What about Rip Radcliffe? Anyone want him? Nope. Yeah, it's not even that we were paying... I mean, a big part of it was we were paying for like 250,000 outfielders. But it's overpaying players who aren't very good. Alright. We have cut a lot of payroll. A lot of payroll. I still think we should cut some more. But until I can see who we can come away with in the draft, I can't afford to release anybody else yet. So I take a quick look at our team now. We still have too many outfielders. That particular theme isn't going to go away anytime soon. But we're now in a place where I feel that we can start rebuilding. We've done the cutting that we're going to do for now. Unless we can make a trade to genuinely improve our team from a position of strength. And look, we need a shortstop. We could use an upgrade at second base. I have nothing against Roy Hughes, but he's not good. I wouldn't object to an improvement in center field, but whatever. This is going to be all about picking up great players. And we're not going to turn this around quickly. I've got a pretty decent lineup to work with. Including 3 of the best young hitters in Major League Baseball, all of whom are under 30. Although it's close with Greenberg, and Trotsky's not far behind. I need young talent up the middle. And yeah. So, let's talk draft. Who would we most like to add to this team, and why is it Stan Musial? Like, I think that's the no-brainer pick. But I think he's such a no-brainer that I don't think he'll make it to us. I don't. Because one of the reasons he looks worse than he is the fact he's randomly a... Also, how are we allocating our scouting budget? We're spending money on national scouting. Nobody does international scouting yet. Let's get up to the baseline here. That'll help. I still can't go up to the league baseline there. That's kind of yikes. Do I have enough to get up to the league baseline here? I do. Alright. We're definitely going to get rid of some more salary once I have a sense of how good we actually can be. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and zip forward. A lot of our success will depend on who we take in the draft. Do I have a good scout, or is my scout bad? He likes his tools, he's just not very good at his job. So we're probably going to have to fix that too. Right. Who do they think is going to fall? They think I'm going to take Texeson. To be honest with you, we need a frontline starting pitcher so badly that if Musial was gone by the time I picked, I probably would take Houston, actually. I would think very strongly about it. And then use the later rounds to fill out some of our other positions. I would also take Vernon Stevens. I would basically take any of the current top three if they fell to me. But I wouldn't at all be shocked if this isn't how it turns out. I'm really hoping that somebody looks at Hoot Evers and gets Hoot Fever and grabs him. Because if they do, then I'm going to get either Vernon Stevens or Stan Musial. And I would love to have either one of them. Without question. Let's talk Hall of Fame voting, though. Doc Ayers is a very good pitcher. He deserves it. I'm going to give it up for Dave Bancroft. Johnny Cooney, no. Let me make sure I get, like, the no-doubters. The people with 70 WAR or close to it. I'm going to vote for Fred Snodgrass, and he's not going to make it, but I'm going to feel better about myself for voting for him. I will vote for Dutch Leonard, and I will vote for Rabbit Moranville. I do think Moranville has helped a little bit too much for being a shortstop, but he actually isn't, like, terrible apart from that. I'd vote for Charlie Holliker. Bubbles Hargrave seems like a good choice. Burley Grimes, I'll take him. Grimy, as he liked to be called. Is there anybody here I feel very strongly should get voted in? I do like Jimmy Dykes. I think he is a very good player. And I wouldn't be upset if he made it, but he would be cheapening the standards a bit. I don't think I'd vote on him. Not when I have other people that I think deserve it more. Sammy Hale must have been a really damn terrible defender to only have earned 30 WAR over his career. Yeah, he was really bad. Holy shit. He'd be worth 40 wins above replacement if he hadn't have gotten, if he had been even a competent defender, which he wasn't. Yikes. Anybody else here that I can get excited about? Oh, I will take Ray Schalk. I think he deserves it. I think Red Smith deserves it. I'll throw a vote to Whitey Witt and Bobby Beach, both of whom I don't think are necessarily Hall of Famers, but I think who are somewhat close. I really like Sam Rice. I think he's the best trade draft pick I ever made. But he wasn't a good center fielder. And I think I'm comfortable just letting him do his thing. If he gets picked, he gets picked later, but I'm not going to be the one to cast a ballot in his favor. Alright. I have openings on my ballot, so I will vote for Pete Donahue. And I think that'll be it. I don't think there's anybody else here that I feel particularly obligated to vote for. Submit. Up to the draft. Would I take Phil Rizzuto? I do need a shortstop. He's a damn good one. I guess let's worry about who gets taken first. So Stein the Man goes to the other St. Louis. And Brooklyn took Texeson. That's interesting to me. That is very, very interesting to me. Vernon Stevens is a great hitter. And he's actually a pretty good all-around defender. But man, I'm really thinking that a guy like Phil Rizzuto... Can I do that? Could I spend the third overall pick getting a great shortstop who'll hit okay, and that's about it? When there's bigger and better options available. Not Dick Wakefield. I'm not the old Tigers. I'm not going to take an outfielder just because I feel obligated to. Because Hoot Evers can play center, I'm a little bit more inclined to take him. But if I'm going to take a great defender, I'd rather take a shortstop. Vernon Stevens is undoubtedly the better hitter. And he's a good defender. Rizzuto's also 3 years older. And the only thing he really does better defensively is he turns double plays. But a shortstop who doesn't strike out, hits for contact, and hits for power, and plays shortstop at a pretty high level sounds like a recipe for a third overall pick to me. I really like Howie Pollitt, and if he did fall to me, I would be delighted, but I think Stevens is what we need. Because I don't have a shortstop. So Cowabunga it is for Stevens. Oh, good. We actually got some really good people fall to the second round. Ray Lamano is fine, but I really need help in the rotation. And Virgil Trucks would be a pretty damn nice follow-up for what we've already gotten. Yeah, I'm going to take Virgil Trucks. I'll take Red Embry, too. Let me remake my entire rotation in one season, if you don't mind. Who do you think I should take? You think I should take Bob Chipman? I don't see why, though. I mean, I guess he'll be alright eventually. Alright, let's start looking for hidden superstars. And I'm not seeing them. I'll take Vinny Smith just to improve our depth of catching, I think. And I will go and take Emil Kush just because he's free. And then I'm going to go ahead and complete the draft. I think we did quite well. I really think we did quite well. And once people sign, I'll be curious to see what we want to pursue. I'm also going to look very carefully in the Rule 5 draft. Because there could be a pretty great savings here. What do I really need more than anything? I could use a quality backup infielder. I'm not saying Bose isn't great, but he isn't. A good defensive backup infielder is first on my wish list. And then what I'll probably do is I'll probably start shedding some of this pitching payroll. I don't know how Milt Schaffner did 200 innings last year, but I don't think he'll ever do it again. We'll figure something out, though. Oh, I don't want to lose good players. Like, Elmer Burkhart would instantly be one of the best relievers on the team. So I'm going to put you on the 40-man. And I'm not going to bother putting George Stumpf on there. If someone wants him, they can have him. Alright. Rule 5 draft. Continue draft. Greg Mulleavy only plays shortstop, and that not well. Crossetti's a really good defender, so I will take him. Oh no, they took Paul Gehrman. Whatever will I do? I do need to get rid of some more salary. And I think we trade Pat Carraway. He's the kind of player that I can't afford to keep. I'm at least going to ask for regulars, because if I can upgrade the team at so much the better. But if I can't make a genuine upgrade to the team, how much money do you earn, Carraway? You earn 13 grand. So I'd still be saving money if I traded for, say, Harry Matuzik, who's actually not very good. I'm actually thinking of my pal Les here. He's not a great pitcher, but I think he's okay, and he's a lot cheaper. But maybe the key here is to just go ahead and bite the bullet and just take like a Tommy Irwin. There we go. Anyone else I want to take on the Rule 5? I don't think so. I'll look at catchers and see if there's like a really solid catcher who's just never gotten a shot. A guy like Jim Sheehan would be a really good addition to the team. He's even a clubhouse leader. What more could you want? All right. I'm at 23 players, and yes, some of the people that I got in the draft are going to go right to the Major League roster. And we'll see how that works out for us. I don't feel great about Johnny Wheelage. But I don't dislike him enough to get rid of him. We do need pitchers, though. That's for sure. And we signed everyone that we wanted to. Bubbles Hargrave made the Hall of Fame. You did Fred dirty. I kind of know why. It's because he's a guy whose value came from drawing walks. But yeah, he's a Hall of Famer in my book. Should have made it. Oh well. Anyway, let us go ahead and sim up to the beginning of spring training. Unless there's someone else that I want to get rid of, and I don't think that there is. Okay, Milt Schaffner is pretty overpaid for his actual role. The reason I'm looking at veterans, I'm trying to see if I can make an upgrade elsewhere on the roster. Like, we're kind of weak at second base. Or catcher. But none of you are actually giving me people I'd consider. I'm going to do what's called a pro gamer move. I'm going to trade for Charlie Stevens, and then I'm going to cut him. The reason being, he's going to cost me way less money to have cut than the other guy would have. Alright, let's sum up to the preseason. Ooh. I could instantly get behind this. It would cost me more money, though. I would need you to offer me something else in addition to that. Like a Don Carraway. Oh, please make sure I get my actual scout doing scouty things. Who is Creepy Crespi? Where did you come from? Did they sneak him in even though I didn't actually want him? How did this guy end up on my team? I don't get it. Yeah, I really don't want him. That's just dumb. Nothing about you is appealing. Not when I can get Johnny there. I like the cut of your name, so I'm gonna trade for you. Okay, now we're talking. Sid Hudson is pretty good. Pretty good. What if I offered you Frenchie? No, huh? This is exactly the kind of trade we need to make. We get a young player who's extremely talented. There is no downside to this trade. We're giving up a guy I don't know how I got, a veteran, and a closer. And a closer is not what we desperately need. I can get relievers whenever I want them. I don't care what my assistant GM says. That was a good trade. I feel a lot better about our center field situation now. We're going to have to call up minor leaguers to fill the roster, and I'm fine with that. Is there any benefit to not calling them up right now, other than saving a tiny bit of cash? I think I'm just going to wait till spring training, and I'm just going to let them, like, battle it out. You cut my budget. How can you be such a raging asshole, owner? I freaking cut payroll for you. And you're like, nah, fam. Let's cut it more. What an absolute asshole. I wonder if the problem is just we're not charging enough for tickets. But I can't set my ticket price for some reason. That's weird. Bro, I don't know what convinced you to waste to just destroy my budget. It be like that sometimes. Okay. Red Embry is a starter. He is not a reliever. Cease this nonsense. And I'm even going to give Carraway a chance to win the second base job out of spring training because none of my second basemen are amazing. Woody Rich. Boots. Him. Maybe even George Stumpf. I don't know. Coachy McCocherson, do your thing. Let me make this plain. I do not mind one iota if we lose like 90 games this season. The owner might care, but I don't care. Because what I did this season had to happen. I had to cut that payroll. Too much money was going to people that were playing a position that didn't matter. And I can see why the Tigers are in such bad shape. I'm still utterly mystified that anyone thought it was a great idea to monopolize the major leagues with people. With outfielders. You just don't need that many. Joe Grace is a nice bat off the bench. Johnny here can't really play center, so he goes to the minors. Maybe he actually gets to stay. Because I do need an actual backup at center. So we're going to keep him. Roy Hughes is gone. I'm not paying that much money when I have Don Carraway, who's like maybe 60% him for pennies on the dollar. I'll take Sam Page. Okay. So Callaway's gonna make the opening day roster? He's better than Berger. Hell, I'll trade Berger too. It's like I need like this giant stack of bad second basemen. I'll take Johnny Hutchings for that. Done. Okay. I need to get rid of one more player. And I have 4 catchers, so it's pretty clear it's going to be one of those catchers. It's probably going to be 2 of those catchers, actually. I need an infielder who can handle third, which Crosetti cannot. Maybe that player is Justin Stein. There we go. All right. So 40 man, 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 and 40 man. Advanced to opening day, and then watch my payroll skyrocket again. But it's alright. It'll be worth it to put a better product on the field and start us down the path to relevancy. Alright. So I'm going to clear the pitching staff, and we're going to start putting together our rotation. So Virgil Trucks is our opening day ace. I don't love that, but it's fine, I guess. Do give me all pitchers, though, not just the starters. 1, 2, 3. So we have, basically, we have 6 pitchers with starting stamina. Randy Gumpert is not a starter. He's a good long man. I'll give him that, but he's not a proper starter. All right. So we have Virgil Trucks, then Sid Hudson, then Red Embry, then Atlee Donald, and finally Walter Masterson. Relievers. Randy, you're our emergency starter long reliever. The best pure reliever on the roster looks a lot like Chad Kinsey to me. You're going to be a traditional closer, but we're also going to have a proper stopper. Which is probably Al Epperly. Yeah, it's 8th or a close game, and then everyone else is a middle reliever. There we go. Bullpen done. All right. Charlie Keller is going to be my number 3 hitter. It's really close. Like, this is definitely my 3-4-5 right here. Keller gets the nod as having the best combo of contact and batting eye. So Keller hits third. Trotsky hits cleanup. And Greenberg hits 5th. I really don't want to start Don Carraway, but I kind of think we have to because he's the only person that... No, his batting eye is too bad. Alright, Vernon Stevens is going to bat second. Hank Majewski is going to bat first. Mike McCormick will hit 6th. Jane DeSotos will hit 7th. Like, Crosetti is a brilliant defending second baseman, Carraway is a pretty good hitter, but I think Carraway is more useful right now as a. I think he's more useful right now as a utility guy. So I am going to actually start Crosetti, even though I don't want to. But we have to do things we don't like sometimes. Alright. So Don Carraway is going to be the number 1 pinch hitter, the backup at first base, and the backup at second. Joe Grace is going to be the number 2 pinch hitter. No, Grace is actually going to go over Carraway because Grace is a little bit more accomplished there. And Grace is going to back up in left. And probably in right? Yeah, probably in right too. Johnny Wallage is going to be backing up all 3 of the outfield positions there. Jim Sheehan backs up at catcher. Carraway is going to back up at all of the infield positions, and then Stein's going to back him up. I'm putting a lot, surprisingly, on Carraway's shoulders, which is not my intention. This is entirely about me needing more depth, but that's something that we can achieve once I've convinced my owner that I need to be paid money if I want to not suck. Johnny, you can hit there. You can also be my number 1 pinch runner with Carraway, number 2. And there we go. It is time to start the season. Man, I really don't like our chances a huge amount. Especially because of this utterly ridiculous idea that you need to cut me to the bone. I can't increase my ticket price. That'll help some. What are, say, the Boston Braves charging? They're charging $1.05, $1.35, $1.30. I can't justify charging that much more than $1. That's fine. So let's see what happens here. Well, that's a way to punish me. He can fucking tear his labrum the first week of the damn season. George Stump gets promoted just because I need an outfielder. This does have the saving grace of giving us a proper leadoff guy so that I can do this. It's not what I want, but it's what I'll take. Oh no, I still want Vernon Stevens hitting there, and then you two move up. Also, Scout, please stop. Owner, are you having a fucking laugh? You think I'm going to win now? If I do, it'll be a bloody miracle. Ooh, Bill Clemenson is throwing harder. That's nice. We got beat 15-0. Are we that bad? I mean, it looks pretty bad when your best hitters decide that hitting is optional. That's definitely true. Alright, we can get Charlie Keller back. Goodbye, Stump. Like, I can't bench Charlie Keller. He's one of the best young players in Major League Baseball. I'd be an idiot to bench him. And I'm many things, but I am not an idiot most of the time. Okay, it's going to be Keller, then Trotsky. No, then Greenberg, then Trotsky. There we go. Okay, that's not okay, game. Please stop injuring my players. I don't have the depth to deal with that shit. Stump gets called up again. Yeah, Stump, you're the only player I have that can handle center, so don't embarrass yourself. Like, what are you going to do? Be in even more last place? I might actually get fired in my first season here. And I take absolutely 0% of the blame for that. It's going to take time for this team to be competitive. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, I don't mind re-signing some of these minor league coaches, but I'm sure shit not going to sign the major league ones. My only all-star was Hal Starosky Jr. I guess I had that coming. That makes sense. Alright. Okie dokie. One guy wouldn't take a new deal. Fine. My third base coach sucks. My scouting director is not great. And I could definitely use a bit more here. So yeah, we're gonna make some big coaching changes in the offseason. Assuming I'm still here. I'm hoping that my agreeing to becoming his hatchet man will help us out. How's the team looking? Pretty average. We're not really great at anything, which is not a good look. But whatever. Vernon Stevens looks like a good pickup already. He looks like he was a good choice. Virgil Trucks is probably dying because his team isn't great. Alright, Crosetti, you're too useful to me as a possible backup. And that was how I wanted you anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and demote you and let Carraway play the rest of the way. Because I know what I have in you. What I have in you is a fine defender. But you're too bad at hitting. So yeah, you can enjoy your time there. Like, I very much expect to be dead last. Or close to it. And I'm just hoping that I get the actual chance to make that happen. Because there's a lot of potential on this team. I just need to get the most out of that potential. And first of all, that means you need to not cut my damn budget. You need to just give me money, you bastard. But second, I just need time. I need time. I'm going to trade Gene here and see if I can get... No, I'm going to wait till the offseason to trade him. I feel pretty good about that. Now, Chad Kimsey, on the other hand, I very eagerly will trade you. Someone's got to want him. Teehee Butland. I'll pick up good old Floyd here. I don't care. I don't care if you can endorse a proposal or not, my friend. The truth of the matter is, Bill Clemenson is more than capable of filling in that role. You're back to just being a middle reliever. Here, Burkhart, you're the stopper now, because someone has to be. And you actually look, you might not suck all that much. Right. Let us proceed. Who is holding us back defensively? Besides everyone. We're getting some pretty bad defense across the board, to be honest with you. Okay, nothing too interesting happened here. How? You are in the middle of the damn lineup. You are hitting fifth. That's the middle. 3, 4, 5 is the middle. You know what? I'll promote you over Greenberg. That'll make you feel better about yourself. Like, I can't give you a bigger role other than making you play two positions, Hal. I think you're just looking for something to bitch about. Um, we're mathematically out of the playoffs, friends. That's what happens sometimes. Damn, look at Embry. He's developing quite nicely. You're not. I'm sorry, dude. To quote Branch Rickey, we finished last with you, we can finish in last without you. Oh, really? Hoot Evers didn't sign? Okay. How do I have low scouting accuracy? Okay. This is a brilliant draft. It's the kind of draft that we need. It's a pool that has really deep pitching. And I think that's our next big leap that we'd want to take. Second base would be a nice thing to get, but it doesn't look like there's a good one. Same for catcher. Um, Hoot Evers just isn't good enough, in my opinion. Why am I picking third? I shouldn't be picking third. No, that's not accurate. Because I'm the second worst team in the majors. No, I'm tied with the Giants. The fuck out of here with St. Louis as the damn number one overall pick. It'll either be me or New York. I don't know who. But yeah, I am pretty excited about that actually. It's an all Boston series and the Red Sox won again. Okay. Well. Yeah. I fixed your problems and you fired me for it. So you can go fuck yourself. So jot that down. Who else is worthy of my attention? Who else could I remake? Go by win percentage. The Dodgers? Oh, yeah, Brooklyn's offered me a job. But the problem is the Tigers had the first overall draft pick. I'm not going to get one of the very best players in the draft. I'm going to get a good player, but not one of the best. Yeah, let me let me tell you a story. Fuck you. And that's my story. Part of me kind of wants to go back to the Cardinals, but I do want to change teams as much as possible. How do the Dodgers look? I'm going to tell you what, the Dodgers look like they've got a really solid organization. I could get a lot done with this organization. And look, I have actual money because my owner is not a cheap bastard. It's an old roster. That's the weakness. Which means as long as I inject some youth into the organization, I think we could be very, very good. So long, Tigers. I'm a Brooklyn Dodger now. Okay. That happened. I think Detroit is going to really reap the benefits of the hard work I did, even in one season. And if the owner knew what he was doing, he wouldn't have hired a stupid manager that's like, only outfielders. We will have an organization of 9 left fielders, and they will all play in left field all the time, including the pitcher. Anyway, so that was a very quick visit back to the Tigers, but I think we're in a really good position with Brooklyn. Brooklyn has the opposite problem of Detroit. They've got solid players up and down the team. They just need, they need stars. They need a big time player to really put the team up to the next level. I'm really excited to see where we go to with them. But until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.